But a actual female apologizing on a song saying that she was wrong, yeah, like I was like, actually might have been Anita Baker. Like
Welcome to the show, everybody. I got my man in here. This is my best friend for like almost 30 years. Jermain, his Instagram handle is GR8119SS.
man, I don't be on Instagram,
It's all
man.
good. It's all good. Relax. Y'all can catch I got your Facebook too. Y'all can catch him on Facebook.
There we
It's
go.
Jermain with no E at the end, Jones.
No, he on the end.
Okay.
Yep.
So this is my brother from another mother. I mean, we tight like that. We tight like his mom's gave me a key to their crib, and I would just be up in their crib when he wasn't even there eating all my man cereal and snacks and food and all of that.
Man, back in the day.
So y'all show him some love. Click the little hearts. Y'all make sure y'all join in on the conversation. And if y'all got questions, make sure y'all drop them. Y'all got comments, y'all drop them in there.
Okay, I see
So,
comments.
what up with you?
Man, I'm good, man. Like, got the day off, took it off, and because I knew that you had you do it on Fridays, and normally I work Fridays, so I was like, yo, let me take a day off, let me support my man's, let me support his page. So
Well, I
it's all
absolutely, I,
good.
I absolutely appreciate you taking a day off. I know you work hard. I know you got the family. So for you to take an hour out of your Friday that you want to leave to hang with me, it's all love, my man.
Shit, it might be 2 hours. We get to,
I don't
how
think I
we
got
we
2 hours.
get to talking
I
like.
ain't got 2 hours. Instagram and me, we don't got 2 hours. I ain't got 2 hours in me tonight. But look though, so I know we discussed our topic in our pre-interview conversation. It's basically men and their emotions, right?
Yeah,
So we'll pop it off with some,
I got the
basic
hardest
topics.
topic,
Nah, it's
goddamn.
all good. You'll be all right. Nobody in here is gonna bite you. You know what I'm saying? It's all love when you come on here. Sometimes we
I
agree,
gotta make sure I
sometimes we
don't get no
disagree.
podium later. Like they like, oh,
You'll be
here's the podium. Go ahead and apologize.
okay. All right, so look. First question. Why is it that men who are outwardly emotional seen as weak?
Um, Outwardly emotional. Well, I would say, well, me being like short, like girls typically say like, oh, they got a short man complex. So
Okay.
like they pass it off as that. But taller guys, um, usually they're like, oh, they have something in their past or something that's messed up within them, and they being extra, or whatever else, and that might be the case, but nobody asks. No, no, nobody like goes and delves into it to be like, yo, what happened to you? Like not like how women get that same, aspect to where it's like, oh, well, what happened in your past? Like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Why you got a OnlyFans? Like, like they'll ask girls that. They're like, yo, why are you like that? And you delve into their past, like, oh, dad wasn't around, or I was molested, or whatever. Like, and it's surprisingly, it's a lot of women that have been molested back in their early times. Like just talking to girls, like it's very surprising, very surprising. It's like, wow, like, and it's usually by a close family member, like an uncle or like stepdad or whatever else. Like that's crazy. That is crazy. Like,
So my homegirl Monty P, she said, if someone were to ask you, would you share? Would you share the emotional, say you were having an emotional moment, or maybe you were kind of stoic and a
Oh,
woman or a
I
female
got that.
has?
Okay,
Would you
so
be willing to share?
the funny thing, the comedian D-Ray was talking about it. He was like, women want men to open up, but they'll use it against them later. Because he said he was outside the club and he heard a dude arguing with his girl, and she was like, "Yo, next time you want to kill yourself, don't call me." And all the dudes in the line, they was like, "Damn!" Like, so it's like it's a double-edged sword. Like you gotta know who the female that you're dealing with, like how they are and how they interact. Like, can you like legit tell them stuff about yourself and they'll keep it to themselves and they'll keep it in house, or are they gonna use that shit against you later? You're like, oh yeah, that's why motherfucker you did, like it's like, gee.
I should
So
have. You like I should have told her that shit. Like I should have
yeah,
just
because
kept it to
in your
myself.
mind you're like, damn, I shouldn't even have said that. Yeah, like I shouldn't even told her. Like, so,
Hey, my man Nick, he said most men aren't taught how to deal with emotion, so people aren't accustomed to seeing men be emotional. So in the eyes of
yo,
the world, is weak.
that's my main joint. Yo, Nick hit it the nail on the head. So like, because we was talking about a little while ago. But yeah, like men, like as kids, you're like, yo, man up, stop crying, shut up. Like even if you get into a fight, you
Mm-hmm.
come home crying. They're like, yo, what you come home crying for? Like, no, go back out there and beat that dude up. Like, what's going on? Like
Right.
so, we're like uh made to push all that shit down.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we get into a relationship as an adult, then your lady is like, why don't you open up? Why don't you tell me about your feelings? Why don't you, like, but no, we're conditioned not to.
Right.
Like my man that graduated from high school, he said he only seen his father cry 2 times. And
Mm-hmm.
that was his brother graduating and him graduating. That's the only times he saw his father cry. But
Mm.
we're just conditioned like that. There's like stuff your feelings down, suck it up, and push on. Like don't like even if like you're in a relationship and you're like complaining about something, like usually like the girls are like, yo, like, oh yeah, my man bitching and complaining, he fussing, he acting like a girl, acting like a girl. Yo, just that yo, that saying right there. Come on, like so like no, like men we're conditioned to like we can't open up. We gotta suck it up and we just gotta let it ride.
So Monty P
Well,
said, Monty P has a good comment. She said, I think it takes the right type of woman and the right level of comfort. So have you ever had a relationship with any woman that you're comfortable with opening up to, other than, your grandmother or your mom?
okay, now with that said, because I talked to it about this with my coworkers,
Mm-hmm.
and so we were all talking, and a lot of them came to the conclusion of if a female has a good relationship with their father, you're
Okay.
golden.
Okay.
You're golden. And so, like, if dude wasn't there, or if he was and he had, like a bad relationship with him, then yeah, you gonna go through some trials and tribulations, But
Mm-hmm.
if she had a good relationship with her father, she knows how to talk to a man. She knows how to treat a man. This, that, and the third. But other than that, yeah, you gonna go through some solvents that you got to figure it out. So
Okay. Okay. Well, Monty P said there's a fine line between being emotional and acting like a girl.
yes, yeah,
so, so,
there
I
is
mean,
there
I
is.
I don't really know
Yo,
what that
it is
fine
some
line
dudes that
is,
be
but
acting like some
okay.
bitches out here.
Yo, real quick. Yo, calling a man a bitch is the most disrespectful shit a woman can do. Outside of like spitting in his face, I might rather you spit in my face than call me a
Well,
bitch. You know what I'm saying?
that's like the suck my dick thing. Like,
Oh
Like
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. Like you talking about
Yo,
between men, right?
I see why busy threw the mic. Yo, it's like,
Yeah.
yo, you can sit there and say everything all day on stage with, yeah, you just told me suck your dick, like, yeah, like to a man, like, yeah, that's a problem. That's a
All right.
problem. So
All right. I'm with you. So myself and a coworker, we were having a hold on, pause that. Mimi said, "Why is emotions considered feminine?" Though that's a fallacy. That is, I agree with that.
I agree
We
with that too.
we
I agree with
absolutely
that.
we all have emotions. You know what I'm saying? And I think it just helps to try and figure out. To I think the first step is to be honest. Like if you're angry, it's cool to be like, yo, yeah, I'm mad. Like I'm angry. I think the more you fight against them, the stronger they become. It's like you're helping them do push-ups or whatever.
Yeah,
Um,
it's like a cup. Like you keep pouring water in the cup and like just the cup runneth over at
mhm.
one point. And that's why like when men have outbursts, like a lot of women don't understand that. They're like, yo, why did this one little thing like make him just like go ham? It's like because like he was bottling a whole bunch of other shit up
A bunch of little things.
the whole time. And so it's not necessarily that one thing. It's
Hmm.
just that was the one thing that made the cup runneth over. And that's why like he's like boom, like yo, what the fuck?
He's
You
triggered.
know, like that. That's why he just go ham at that point.
So let me ask you this: Are is it possible? Is it possible
Okay.
that men are more emotional than women?
Mm. Mm.
You want me to, so I'll tell you how I came to this question, and I don't really have an answer, but a coworker said something to me one day. We were having a conversation, and she said something, and the joint kind of struck me a little bit, right? And she said it. She was like, "I think men are more emotional than women," and I'm like, "What?" She's like, "Let me
Have to
explain it to you."
explain it.
She was basically saying like, if you look at the extremes that come from men's emotions, that makes them more emotional, right? So when you look at, and you know what we do. So when you look at like violent crime, it's overwhelmingly committed by men. So
Mm.
men will have will be more emotionally extreme. So I didn't necessarily agree or disagree, but I understood her stance. You know what I'm saying? Like
Okay, okay,
when a man is
okay,
emotional, he's a man is probably more likely to act in an extreme. Like once the cup is floweth over, runneth over.
okay. I would say to that, men are more passionate. I would say that. Like not necessarily more
That sounds like
emotional.
that sounds like a minimization.
No, because like you sit there, you listen to like two guys arguing over fucking the Broncos and the Bills. And they be in it. Like they be in it. They like, yo, like what you mean? Like the fucking like the Russian receiver did this, he did 314 yards and blah. Yo, they are like so heavy into it. Like that's not
Mm-hmm.
their personal feelings. They're just passionate about what they feeling though. And
Okay.
so they're like, yo, like what the fuck you mean? Like they be going in. And so like a regular person walking past, they're like, yo, these two dudes about to get in a fight. Like, but like
Mm-hmm.
nah, like they're not. They're just like passionate in what they think and what their topics are.
Okay.
So
Okay. Let's go through the comments right quick. Mimi said it's not that they are more emotional, but they don't handle their emotions as well. And I think that goes back to what you were talking about in
okay.
terms of like, being young and being told like suck it up. Nick said that's because men don't show or express their emotions. They're bottled up. So when they do show it, a lot of emotions are displayed. Women show their emotions daily from the time they wake up until the time they go back to sleep. So Nick say women just emotional all day long. And
Yeah, like because let me go back. Because remember, like when we were working in the commissary,
mhm,
like just like you see like a little girl crying. And you like, yo, who did you wrong? Who hurt you? Who
mhm.
was messed up? And like she'll point to somebody or whatever, and 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 so like it was all fun back then. But then when you really think about it on a psychological aspect, like yeah, like you thought like a little young girl, a little pretty little young black girl, and she's crying. So
Mm-hmm.
automatically you're on like defense, like who did you wrong? Who did that? But
Okay.
like little boys, we don't get that same thing growing up. Like a little boy crying is like, oh, somebody, he mad about something, or he's sad about something, and that's it. There's nothing. Like we don't get the same treatment. Like even
So
like from the beginning stages.
that's probably the major aspect of it. I don't know if you can see the comments. The comments are popping. You know what I'm saying? So
Oh,
we picked a good topic. Crew lover said, "I agree. There is more space for men to be more passionate. It might be considered non-feminine for a woman to be as passionate." Lil said, "Isn't passion a part of being emotional? Isn't passion isn't being passionate an emotional thing?"
yeah, it is. It is. But then look at it on the female aspect when they pop off. It's like, oh, yeah, she, like it's so many like excuses, like, oh, it's a reason why, but it's a meme that they they put up. They said the last female that apologized was Anita Baker, and they showed her album, which is I Apologize. And that shit was funny, like when I saw it. But I started to think about it, and I was like, let me think, like because like men apologize and say they're sorry every year on albums, songs, everything else. Like they're apologizing to women, but women don't do the same. And I was really thinking about it, and I'm like, no, Jill Scott had "Let's Take a Long Walk," okay, but no, she's getting in the way. Like those songs, like they're just like saying I love my man and I love being with my man. But a actual female apologizing on a song saying that she was wrong, yeah, like I was like, actually might have been Anita Baker. Like, like I can't think of a song after that. Like
There's one,
it,
but I can't remember because we had this conversation offline before, and I gave you one, but I can't remember what it was.
you, you did give
Um,
me that one. You did give me that one.
so let me ask you this: how do we? Because we're parents now, right?
Yeah.
How do we? And I asked, I think it was Janelle when I interviewed Janelle. I asked her the same question: how do we as parents um, cultivate our young men's emotions in a way that allows them to be okay with the emotions they're having, but still being able to remain the masculine men that we need in society?
Ooh, yo, I was waiting for you to ask me this because I wanted to bring up the fact of, that meme that came out about it was a girl that had posted her son and she had bought him a kitchen set.
I
And
didn't see the
everybody
meme.
was
I didn't see the meme, but
you were
I heard about it. Yeah.
okay, so that shit pissed me off. Like the fact that people were going against her, that pissed me off because I'm like, yo, just the fact of like teaching a boy to cook and he good, like they're like, why are you mad about that? Like that pissed me off. Like, and that's why I wanted to talk about that because you remember Jerome?
The chef.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes, exactly. I'm gonna tell y'all, Jerome. We grew up with Jerome on Andrews. Jerome Grant. Look him up. He is at the African American Museum right now. Head chef there. He
Mm-hmm.
said ever since damn high school, ever since high school, he said he wanted to cook. He get on the bus, he ain't had no regular sandwich, like breakfast sandwich. He got some aioli sauce on there. He like yo, he was doing some like crazy. I'm like, yo, what kind of sandwich you got, nigga? What is that? And so he's like, yeah, like like he always wanted to be a chef. He was always doing the extra stuff. And yeah, he went. I think he went to Barbados or something for a couple of years, and then he came back to the States. And He was in originally in the Native American Museum.
Hmm.
He was the head chef there, but then when they made the African American Museum, then he moved there. So he's the head chef there now.
Right.
So anybody that goes to the African American Museum, ask for Jerome Grant and tell him, yo, Jermaine to refer me to, like, yeah, like, but yo, to tell a little boy, like, get a boy a little cook set, like, and saying that that's wrong.
Hmm.
Like, I tell anybody to say that that's wrong. Look at Jerome Grant. Go to African American Museum. You see him. Ain't nothing wrong with getting a little boy a kid set, man, like to cook. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Mm. Okay. Monty P said we have to raise our daughters differently so men can feel comfortable being who they are around women. So that kind of leads into the relationship part of the conversation that I wanted to have with you, right?
Hmm.
Um, what can our wives and ladies do to make us more comfortable with expressing our emotions to them?
Mm. Well, like I said, like what I referred to before, like keep it to yourself. Like with
Okay,
the deer
that's a
and
good one.
stuff. Like, next time you want to kill yourself, don't call me. Don't say stuff like that in front of everybody else. Like that makes a dude shut down. Like straight up, it's like, yo, I can't tell you nothing then.
Right.
So,
Is there
but
anything? Is there anything else? Like, can they just be more, in your opinion, be more nurturing? Can they simply ask more questions or ask more questions in a particular way?
um,
Because I asked that because she could say, "Oh, don't worry, I won't throw it in your face." But you don't know that if she's gonna throw it in your face, 6 months from now or not.
yeah.
So, what is it
Oh,
that she could say to you to make you more comfortable expressing your emotions?
um, I would say sometimes like when a guy like wants to chill, like don't take it extra. Like you see those memes where like the white dude like laying in the bed and
Hmm.
he's like and like on her side she's like he's probably thinking about the girl, blah blah blah, and then on his mind he's like, oh, how does a cucumber become a pickle? like that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
but like, yeah, like sometimes it's like, yo, we're not really thinking about anything extra. Like it's just something simple. So, and the best way to explain that is reading a book. So, when a guy wants his personal time, like
hmm,
I found that out a lot with women is like, oh, well, you get home from work and I'm not your personal time. I'm not your safe haven. Like they take it personal. And
hmm.
it's really not like, and that's why I refer it back to reading a book. So if you read a book by yourself, you're fine. Now,
Okay,
picture reading that same book to somebody else.
right,
When you're
right.
reading that book to somebody else, you're trying to like actually like make sure like you get the words right, trying to make
Hmm.
sure it's understood, trying to get your verbalization in there, like so all the sentences make sense. Like it kind of like it's not really work, but it's not like you enjoying the book at that point.
Right.
So,
So, hold on. Are you okay with Monty P wants to jump in on the conversation? Are you okay with her jumping in on the
yeah, yeah,
conversation? All
yeah.
right, Monty P, I'm gonna get you in here, but before I do that, if y'all don't follow him at GR8119SS. If y'all don't follow me, you're on here, so you know what to do. Follow me.
They
YouTube.
can follow me.
This
I ain't
is
gonna
this will
follow.
this will premiere tomorrow at 9 a.m. on YouTube. Marchello Bradley, I am Chels. And let me run through these joints right quick because I missed one. Crew lover, why are we spending so much time complaining about relationships that don't suit us and staying in them? Yeah, that's a good question. Let me get Monty P in here. See if I can get her in here right quick.
Wait, what did he say again? Say it
Uh
again.
Crew lover,
Yeah.
why are we spending so much time complaining about relationships that don't suit us and staying in them? Basically, they're saying like, if you can't express your emotions with this person, why are you with them? But before you answer, Monty P,
What's
welcome,
up, Monty?
Hello.
welcome back to the
What's going
show.
on?
So
What you
I'm in the
got
car. I
for
had
us?
to pull over. I had to pull over so I could give it my all. I don't want to drive and I had so much to say. I'm trying to like text, so I had to pull over to.
Well, that's good you being safe.
Yeah.
Word,
So
word,
hello
word.
everybody. Hey Jermain, it's nice to meet you.
How are you?
Um, Chels, go ahead before I.
Nah, this is for you. I mean, you
Oh,
wanted
this
to
your
jump in?
show.
Nah, this ain't my show. I'm just the host. They don't even pay me. They don't even pay me to do this. I want you to jump in when you jump in. Welcome back to the show. Say what you guys
Thank you for
say.
have. Thank you for having
Absolutely,
me.
absolutely.
No, but So I think we kind of got off subject about men and emotions. I think that men are capable of being emotional and being free to be emotional in places where they feel safe. What's
Yes,
safe?
I
What's
agree.
what? What's a safe space for me? Like if you with a girl that you know gonna say, oh, like the DeRay joke. Oh, next time you try to kill yourself, if you know she's that type of woman, of course you're not gonna be. But when you're in a place you know it's safe, I can cry. I can say I'm fed up at work. Um, I hate my coworkers. Whatever it is, you're safe to come here. This is your safe space. And I think a lot of women don't really know like how to be a safe space because they've
Yeah.
never been taught how to be somewhere safe for men to come and like be for that. They don't know because and you touched on it about the father figures and missing a piece of fatherly love. I My biological father did not raise me. He's a great man. I love him. He's the bomb. But my stepfather raised me, which I don't ever call him that. He's my bonus dad, my dad.
Yeah.
Um, but he taught me a lot of things about men. He taught me a lot of things about being a woman that I have carried throughout. Because he's the prototype for me. If I was gonna get a husband, it would be like my stepdad. And so I
Okay.
know friends who don't have anything. They don't have a model. They don't have anything to model after. Um, and so they can't be a safe space for men. So I think I commented that we have to try to raise our daughters in a way that they can be safe spaces for men, and we have to raise our sons where they don't stifle their emotions. They can feel free to be emotional without feeling like it demasculates them, if that makes any sense.
No, that makes sense. That makes 100% sense. Like, because I feel the same. Like, we didn't get to it at when me and Chels were talking, but I was gonna get to it to where like I didn't know my father either. So dealing with women, like I just only went with what mom taught me. And she's like, yo, make sure you straight with everything. Make sure like he's accepting of everything. So like that whole um men taking charge and like going forward, like never got it. So like I probably missed out on a lot of opportunities because just like talking to girls, like I'm like, I want to make sure she's good. I want to make sure, like, do you want this? Do you want to go to step two or step three? Like, and I'm waiting for her to make the move, and the whole time she waiting for me to make a move. But I'm, but
So
We
my
all just in the
favorite
waiting room.
my favorite saying is ain't shit sons come from ain't shit mamas. And so I think that mothers make men who they are at the core.
yeah,
So who you are, like your integrity, how you treat women, that comes from your mother. Like just like you were saying
yeah,
about how that comes from your father, like it's the same with like your mother, she created you. She puts in you how you nurture women, how you treat them, how you regard them. Even if it's how she let somebody treat her, what you watch. She maybe didn't
Mm.
have to say it to you, but
Mhm.
it's about what she allowed you to like see or be a part of. Your mothers make men who they are at the core. Your morals, your how you treat, how you talk, that's from your mother. That stuff you're talking about, how to lead and those kind of things, yes, those come from fathers. But how I am, how I regard women, how I respect them, that comes from your mother.
Yeah, yeah, that does.
Mm. So I
So
thought Monty P. I thought you made the point that I was going to make is like we have way more work to do than what we've actually have done in the
Right.
past. It's like like you say, we got to teach our young girls how to be emotionally available and open, and we have,
Mm,
I mean, to receptive, I should say. You know what I'm
right.
saying? And we have to teach our young men how to be able to use emotions in a good kind of way.
but
You staying?
it's on both aspects. Like we got to teach our young men, but then we got to teach the ladies. Don't like no, like you can't hit. You can't
And I'm
hit. Not,
and
not at
listen.
all. Like because Bill Burr, the comedian, he was like, why doesn't anybody ask the guys questions? And he brought up Chris Brown. He was like nobody asked him. He was like, I'm not trying to be a dick or anything, but like, yeah, like why don't anybody ask the guy questions? Like, why weren't they having some epic argument in the car beforehand? To where she in his face like, I sell more records than you, motherfucker. I'm gonna fuck all your friends and whatever. And then that's what caused him like, why are we asking the guys the questions? Like,
So, Sir Sir Jermain, my father taught me a valuable lesson. Um, that one thing we learn as children, your parents teach you, male or female. If somebody hits you, what do?
yeah, you hit back,
You hit
yeah.
them back. You hit them back.
Yep. That's
That's
what
what
they
you've been
taught us.
taught.
Yep.
You go to school, somebody hits you, you better hit them back. And that's
Yep.
what you were taught. So my father taught me that if you hit a man, you should maybe expect to be hit back in return, because that is what we've been taught. That's the reaction. So what he was saying
Mhm.
to me, not let nobody beat up on you, but he was saying don't put your hands on nobody. Don't put
Right.
nobody in a situation where they feel like they gotta manhandle you. They gotta do you dirty, because you shouldn't be
Mm.
putting your hands on nobody. If you're in a situation, he always told me, you're in a situation where you got to call the cops on somebody, you feel like the police need to be involved, you don't need to be there.
Yeah.
You don't need to
Yeah.
be
Agree
there.
with
If
that.
you got to call the
Agree with that.
police, if you got to call your brother, if you got to call your uncle, you don't need to be there, because that's not a safe place for you. And so I've always just been like that. I don't hit men, and I don't let men hit me. They know, like, that's not what we're going to do. But but I also don't put my hands on them, and I also don't call you a bitch ass nigga. I don't say stuff like that,
Mm.
because I just
Yeah.
don't, because I'm integrous. So I don't say stuff like that, because even if you are exhibiting signs or characteristics that may
Yeah,
be bitch ass
it's
like,
still gonna aggravate
I'm not gonna ever say
something.
that. I'm not gonna call you. I might tell my best friend like, ooh, girl, nigga, you in here, bitch ass nigga, but yeah, I don't do that. And I think that that's another thing. I mean, I taught that to my girls. Don't put your hands on nobody. Like,
Mm.
you put your hands on a man, because I mean, you walk up to somebody, you smack them in the face. What is your reaction going to be? To turn around and smack them back?
Yeah.
You're not going to be like, "Oh my God, you're a woman." I mean, your reaction is to retaliate, to do
Hold
something back
on.
to them.
But you know what though? You know what? Because as boys, we're taught it's plain. It's kind of cut and dry. It's like you don't hit women.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it. It's
Yep.
just cut and dry. There is no you don't hit women unless that not there, right?
No,
And
it's just
so
straight up. You just
so
don't hit them.
so so because that's ingrained into our society. That's to answer Jermaine's question. That's why nobody asked Chris Brown anything. You know why? Because if you hit her,
He
you
wasn't supposed
lost.
to do it.
You wasn't supposed to hit her in the first place.
That's that should go back to Chris Rock. Remember, Chris Rock was like, "Yo, it's a reason to kick a grown man down a flight of stairs. You just don't do it,
Yeah.
though."
Just don't do it. I mean, I'm sure. I mean, I have so many like instances, like celebrity instances, not just Chris Brown. Um, Chad Johnson and Evelyn Lozada, like all kinds of little situations that
Yeah.
we're not privy to, and
Now
and I
the
know
one thing, who was that, the NFL player? Like I thought that was fucked up. Like I don't
Ray,
know if
Ray
y'all
Rice
saw it.
in the elevator.
In the elevator.
No, the dude that beat his girl in
Oh,
the
they was in the
Oh
house.
yeah, yeah, with the
I
in
don't
the
children.
remember
house
his name.
and then threw her into the TV.
Yeah.
I was like, God damn, like yo, he did way too much with that. I was like, yo,
So there's a fine. I mean, it go from, but here again, if you're in a situation where you feel like, because that wasn't their first time, that wasn't their first rodeo.
it definitely wasn't.
She was
It definitely
recording
wasn't.
because that's something that she knew that she didn't know what
That
was
was
going to
gonna
happen. She
happen.
was recording
Yeah.
because she was unsure about what his actions would be. So here again, you can't. If I feel like I gotta call the cops, you might come in. I don't know how you gonna be. I don't deal in them type of situations.
Mm-hmm. Man,
Mm. So Jermaine, a specific. You staying with us, Monty P? You riding with us for the rest of the ride? Or
Yeah.
okay, cool. So this question's for Jermaine. I don't have no question for Monty P, so I have to sprinkle some in, right?
all right.
Now you know how men and women deal with breakups differently, right? So
Yeah.
men
Niggas be like,
typically.
yo, I'm good,
Nah,
man.
nah,
Like,
yeah, well, yeah. But what I'm saying is, men typically like go on this like slut spree, right?
Bitches
yeah.
naked.
To recover, right? And so my question is, do you think that's a good way of dealing with the emotions from a breakup?
Nah, I don't think that's a good way. Like, I think mentally, guys do that to be like, yo, I still got it. Like, I'm still good. Like, these girls still want me out here. Like, I'm good, but like, nah, I mean, like, mentally, no. Like, it's not a good thing. Like, really, they need to sit back and recollect themselves. Like, figure out what they want to do. Like,
Mm-hmm.
what kind of girl do I want? Where am I going in life? All of that, like really that's what they need to be doing. But and then some guys like, nah, like I need to satisfy my ego.
Oh, this is
Uh,
my
I need,
moment.
I need, I need to put some notches in the belt right here.
I always figured it was a rebuilding of the ego type of thing. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like I have to build myself up. Monty P, what's your opinion?
So what y'all think girls be doing? Crying and knitting sweaters? Or you
Oh
or
Oh
shit.
hell
or I mean, I'm just
no.
asking. I'm just asking. I
No,
mean,
that's like that
because
Eddie
Hold on,
Murphy
hold on, hold
joint.
on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Let her go, let her go, let her go, let her go.
Go ahead, go
Go
ahead,
ahead.
go ahead. I'm gonna go.
my grandmother said the best way to get over a man is to get under a new one.
Yes,
And
I've heard that before. Yes.
the o- the only way to get the best way, not the only way, but the best way to get over a man is to get under a new one. Now, I'm not saying that her ideology is uh gospel, but women also be out like doing because especially when I'm giving y'all a lot of little secrets, but especially
Keep
when
them
you
coming,
break up
keep
with
them coming,
somebody
keep them coming.
and you love them, you want to feel like soothed. You want somebody to soothe you, and so sometimes we do things that are not ideal because they are temporarily soothing.
Hmm.
It temporarily heals what I feel. I go over here and I don't have to think about Joe Blow because I'm with Jack, and it's not ideal. He ain't who I want to be with. He not nothing I would be with, married, none of that. But he's Mr. Right Now. He right now. So I think we have the same thing, and I think it's you calling it ego building. I think I'm calling it self soothing.
Hmm. Well, I
Mhm.
was saying from a man's perspective, you know what
Yeah,
I'm
so I'm saying
saying?
from a
I
Okay.
woman's
think.
perspective, it's self-soothing.
Oh, okay. Well,
Okay.
that's a
Okay.
It's how
Let me
you
different.
it's how
That's
you
let
hold on,
let
hold
me
on,
self-soothe.
hold
tell
on, hold on, hold on,
you.
hold on, hold on, real quick, because my man Vic said whole stage. That's a very eloquent way of describing the whole stage.
Self-soothe.
let
We'll
me
call it. Oh
let,
no, I'm not a hoe. I'm just
I'm
self
yeah.
self-soothing.
soothing.
Yeah.
So as a man, you be like, it's, nah, I ain't flooding it off. I'm
Entanglement.
just
It's
rebuilding
an
my
entanglement.
ego.
That's what
Ego,
it
you
is.
see, Chels, we
It's
out here
an
giving these people
entanglement.
free game. We're giving them free game. That so it's self soothing if you're a woman, and your ego building if you're a man. Boom, you're not no hoe. You're not no hoe stage. I am just soothing. I'm
Yo,
just soothing.
you know what Mons told me?
What's that?
Mons told me, I think I was like 16, 17 years old. And she was putting me on game with like the crazy things that women do. And so she was like, I'm not proud about it, but I cheated too back in my day. And I'm like, what? And she like, yeah. She's like, I go out, I tell them I'm going to the store, and I go meet another dude, do what I do, and as long as I come home with a bag, then they don't question it. As long as they come home with a bag, she should just buy any random shit from any store. As long as she come home with a bag, she's like, yeah, I was out shopping. Like, yeah, this is all I found. I'm like, what? She was like, yeah, that's the shady stuff women do. So she was trying to put me on game early. But yes, like, you could like, yes, you could be out 2, 3 hours, as a female, come back with a bag. The nigga will never question it. He will never question it. Like, you come, as long as you come, and that's what she said. That's how women know. As long as I come home with a bag, he will never question where I was at.
Hey,
And
Lil
that's
said
how. That's
mom's
how.
gonna kick your. Mom said Lil said mom's gonna kick your ass.
Yeah, she probably gonna kick my ass for
And
telling
you
that
bet. And
story.
let me
But
tell
yeah,
you this. And let me tell you this. You better not put your hands on no woman neither. So when she beats your ass, you just run away.
but nah, yeah, she put me on game early. She's like, yo, like, she's like, women can be way more conniving than men. I was like, damn. I was like, yo, I ain't even know y'all went ham like that. Like, damn.
We just way better at it.
Yeah, yeah, y'all
Way
some
better.
slick motherfuckers. You know what I'm
Just way
saying?
better.
Y'all real good. So, but one other thing I wanted to move into because we getting close to that hour, right?
Damn, it's been that long?
Yeah,
Shit.
it's 7:49, so we probably been on
Oh,
for about
shit.
45 minutes. I
Okay.
told you to go by quick. I told you you was all
They
planning and
do.
plotting, and I was like, dog, it's gonna go by quick. Like we gonna hit
Yeah,
like
it do
three,
go
four
by
topics,
quick.
and before you know, it's gonna be like, damn, we're getting close. Um, Therapy has a stigma, especially for men. How do
Yeah.
we remove? Because I got a therapist, a marriage counselor, he's a psychologist. That's my man. I'm about to go see him tomorrow. How do we remove the negative stigma that comes with going to therapy, especially for men? And if you want to go the black man route, we can do it that way too.
I think it's up to us as like older people to like tell the
We old.
millennials it's okay. To tell the younger folks it's okay. Like, going to a therapist ain't bad. It's not wrong. Like, I don't have one right now. Like, shit, I need if your boy go Blue Cross Blue Shield, then shit, I need to hook up with him. But it's an aspect that I've had in relationships to where, like, growing up just with my mother, like, if I do something fucked up, then my mother beat my ass, and then she like, yo, get out my face. I don't want to see you right now.
Uh-huh.
And so I make myself scarce, until she ready to talk to me again.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I was growing up. So fast forward to adulthood, if I do something in my relationship and it's fucked up, I do the same exact thing. I make myself scarce. Like she's screaming me, fussing me, whatever, and then I make myself scarce. I'm like, all right, I pissed you off. I'm gonna apologize, and then I'm gonna, find somewhere to go, but I'm not gonna be in your presence.
Mm-hmm.
But then that's actually been the opposite of what a female actually wants to happen. She's like, no, I still want you around. I still want you to talk to me. Like, so like that's had an adverse effect in my adulthood. So yeah, like
Mm-hmm.
therapy, yeah, a therapist can probably explain to me like nah, dog, you doing this wrong, or like he be able to explain why that's not working out, or
Mm-hmm.
why that is a problem. But it just, I don't know. That's just what it is. Like because from childhood, if mom's pissed off, you're like, yo, get the fuck out of my face until I'm ready to talk to you again. So I make it. I go find something else to do, play some Nintendo, whatever else. Like I don't know, I just make myself scarce. So, but
Monty P, what's your opinion? How do we normalize going to therapy for men?
So I work for an all black therapy counseling center. Shout out to Hope Counseling and Consulting in Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
there we go, there we go.
We are black owned, operated, and so um, in my passing, I think that the thing with men is I'm not crazy. So therapy and men, it's like therapy means
Mm,
something's wrong with me.
okay,
Something
Right,
is wrong. Something is wrong with me. I have to go
right.
to therapy because something's wrong. Ain't nothing wrong with me. I'm good. I can't keep no job. I got 10 baby mamas. Nothing is wrong with me. You trying to make me go to therapy because you think I'm crazy. I ain't
Mm-hmm.
crazy. And
Right.
so normal um I think that normalizing that going to therapy doesn't mean you're crazy. But talking to someone, I go to a therapist, I got the bomb therapist. Shout out to Dr. Kendra Davis. Like I got a bomb therapist. And I go because I need therapy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so but normalizing that, talking to someone that is objective, not your homeboy who gonna be like, yeah, dog, that's cool, da 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 da. But talking to someone who looks like you, who been where you been. I went to a therapist one time and it was a young white girl. She was like 22. I was like, girl, you,
What you
girl,
gonna tell me?
what you ready to tell me? You just got out of school. Your pencil, and you ain't even wrote. You ain't even your little pencil still sharpened. You like not even. You're not even on my level. And so I think that seeing people who look like you, people who've been through what you've been through or from the community that you're from, I think that that helps it feel safe.
Yeah, safe and more and
it
more
feels it feels
and more
safe
natural.
and natural, because if you hear therapy, I mean, even to myself, before I was in it, you hear, oh, somebody going to therapy, what's wrong with them? What's going
Mm-hmm.
on? What they got going on? They on drugs? What's going on? I mean, so it's just like the stigma in the black community, like you don't go to therapy, because
I mean something wrong with you.
it's something wrong with you, and so I think we need to normalize that, going to therapy and saying, listen, I got a lot going on. I'm stressed out. I need somebody to vent to, not my mother, not my father, not anybody, somebody that's not biased, and somebody that's gonna be real with me. My father, who I work for, he has a passion for getting more black therapists, more
Mm-hmm.
black male counselors.
We need
Um,
more.
yeah, because you don't want to go tell no old white man what happened about
I'm
about
scrolling through the
about
comments. Crew level said,
about
"Now
to
your
run in
little
with
pencil
Karen.
sharpener."
Yeah. I mean, you don't want to tell no old white man what happened with you and Karen, because he may not understand how that made you feel.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just think that it's about normalizing getting help and talking. I think it should just be about talking. I think it should just, like how we on here dialogue and we just kicking it.
Yeah.
It should be
Right.
more like kicking it. And my father, his therapy style is like kicking it. It's like he'd be like, hop in the car with me. They take rides. They go fishing. So he has a non-standard style of like therapy, and I can like and they receive it, because it's not like we
Right.
sitting in there, we on the couch, you clicking on the timer, you penciling, you looking over your glasses. It's not. making me
Well,
feel away.
so what you're saying is, so one of the things I think we really have to do is have people understand there's a delineation between being mentally ill and just going to therapy,
Mm.
right?
Because you don't want to be mentally ill.
Right, and right, because that's what you said. People just naturally like, yo, what? I ain't crazy. Like, I know I ain't losing my mind, right?
Hmm.
And we have to be able to explain to people, like, listen, I'm not saying you're mentally ill. Matter of fact, I don't think you're mentally ill, but I do think I think you're emotionally scarred, and going to therapy will help you heal those scars. I'm not saying you're gonna go in there and they're gonna put you on some type of medication. And by all means, if your problems are that bad to a point where you are mentally ill, you need to go see somebody too. There's no shame in that either. Monty P, I gotta let you go because I gotta do these comments and I gotta get his top five. I love
Bye.
you. I
Peace out. I
appreciate
love you
y'all.
too.
As always,
Bye.
you can
Jermaine,
come
it was
Wait,
back
wait,
nice
wait, wait,
meeting
wait,
you.
wait, 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 wait.
Wait,
Before
what?
you cut her, the question I had. So it was a girl. I was talking to Trello about this a couple of days ago because it was funny as hell. It was a
Jermaine, we
girl
might
that
have to meet up. We
it,
might-
so it was a girl that posted why why do the OBGYN doctors say I'm gonna give you some time to dress after they leave? And
and
they
they've seen
and
everything.
yeah, the girl was like, "Yo, you been all up in my cooter and everything else. Like, you done seen all this. Like, help me strap this bra back. Like, stay in the room. Help me get dressed. Like,
Help me.
like, do other girls feel that way? It's like, yo, why am I like? And then also, like, why do you fold your panties and bra and like hide them in your pants or
Oh,
anything?
I don't fold. I don't fold my.
Like,
I don't fold my panties because I be thinking people that be folding their panties and stuff got stinky panties. But we're gonna have to come back and talk about that another time because I don't be hiding my panties. So we have to come back and talk about that another time. I love y'all. Thank y'all for having me, Jermaine. It was nice meeting you.
We
I'm.
love you
nice
too,
seeing
Monty P.
you.
All right.
All right. All right. So before we move forward, I want to go back because Melissa
Okay.
said our history with the medical community makes it hard to trust them. So I agree having more blacks in those professions is important. And I agree
Yes.
because I know when I was like, okay, but we got to find somebody to talk to. I definitely wanted to talk to a black guy. You know what I'm saying? I
Hmm.
didn't even want to be honest. I didn't even want to talk to a black woman about it because I was like, if she disagrees with me, it's going to be too easy for me to say she's just disagreeing because she's a black woman and I'm married to a black woman. I wanted to that way. If it's a black man telling me, just it'd be more easier for me to accept the things that I disagree. Um, my wife said therapists don't give you the answers to your issues, though. They help guide you through them and help you come to solutions on your own. They don't tell you what to do. They give you suggestions on how to come to solutions, and that
Yeah.
is absolutely true. Now, it's so
Yeah.
I got one more quick question for you, and then we're gonna jump into your top five,
Okay.
right? So we've known each other a long time. I know one of the
Oh
things
yeah.
you've always had an issue with is the difference in the way women get treated on Mother's Day as opposed to the way fathers get treated on Father's Day.
Oh, you know the restaurant's open like a motherfucker. Yeah.
Oh yes, come on in. We have. Where you
Yeah,
want to
the
sit
hell
at?
yeah. The seating is readily available, and we're good. You know? But like, but it goes even further than that. Like when you look at celebrities and they
Mm-hmm.
like, you know, they get interviewed and they like, well, what'd you do? Like, I bought my mama a house.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's usually like one of the main things they say. I want to always buy my mama a house. Like, but
Mm-hmm.
you know, if I, no, ain't nothing talked about with daddy. Like that,
He got to buy his
it's
own
like
house.
it's some white YouTubers that will say like, my dad always wanted this type of car.
Mm-hmm.
So it's some white YouTubers that will actually do that. And they'll buy like, I don't know, 67 Mustang or it's like something vintage, you know, for their
Mm-hmm.
father. But blacks,
Oh, it's
it's
some
really
NBA.
not no black people like, yo, I'm gonna help
It's
my
some
pop.
dudes in the NBA. It's some dudes in the NBA who take care of their pops. But I mean, it probably just don't get as much attention and stuff like that. But I want to make
Mhm.
sure I get your top five. And it's one other thing I want. This is not a question. I just wanted to make a statement, right?
Go ahead.
Men were never lost. We're just gaining our bearings. So if you ever ride in the car with your man, don't ask him, are we lost? Because even though y'all lost, that just leads down an emotional path that neither one of y'all are really gonna want to deal with. Nick said, is it because the black dad is usually missing? I don't necessarily think that's it. I think it's a lot of black fathers who are there for their kids. I just think that so it's naturally through evolution and the way society is now, men are taught to we are the ones who survive, right? So like to
Yeah.
be honest, like I'm a man, I have a father, I grew up with my father, all that good stuff. I love my father to death. Never has it crossed my mind to say I plan on taking care of my father one day. If I ever have to, I'm more than willing to do it, but that's just not the way I look at it. He taught me how to do this.
Well,
So
it's usually because mothers are more the nurturing aspect.
mm-hmm,
So you see, that like dad is usually the authoritative figure.
mm-hmm.
So
Right.
I,
It's
I,
all
I, I,
good.
yeah, I chalked it up to that, but
It's all
it
good. Let's
is
get
what
into
it
your
is.
top five, dead or alive. You gotta give me five people,
All
dead or
right.
alive, real or fictional, that you would like to sit down and have a conversation with. You don't have to
Okay,
rank them one
so
through five. You don't have to rank them one through five, but five people.
so my first one will be Cleopatra.
Mm.
Like, first off, I'll be like, yo, how the hell y'all building pyramids? But then, but then
The aliens
secondly,
did it.
yeah, but then secondly, like, you think it's bad now, like a woman in the aspect of men, that primarily make decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how hard of it was like back then? Like, so I would really like to like pick her brain on that to be like, yo, how hard of it was a job for you,
Okay.
when you're in the like arena of men and you
Right.
want to be respected in the same manner. So,
Well, I think real quick on that. I think in the ancient Egyptian hierarchies, there wasn't as much of a delineation between who was in power. Like they had female gods, right?
mm,
And if you look back at the Isis and I think it's Isis and Osiris story, like Isis gets slaughtered by his brother. I mean Osiris gets slaughtered by his brother, and Isis like scours the earth to put his penis back together. Like she was on that shit. But that's because I mean that's just what it was. So I think back then there wasn't as much of a men up here and women play this role down here. I think back then, it was like, yo, like don't fuck with ISIS, she'll fuck you up. Don't fuck with Cleopatra, like she'll have these people cut your head off. Real
mm.
shit, right? So, but either which way, who you got next?
Okay. My next, because I watched the show, everybody
Mm-hmm.
like nobody's picked a fictional character yet. So like watching the shows, like everybody's picking somebody that was alive or dead. So my
Mm-hmm.
second will be Joel from The Last of Us. Like
The video
anybody
game.
that played, yeah, video game. Anybody played PS4, Xbox, The Last of Us, great fucking game. But I would like to talk to him
Okay.
because he went through the apocalypse with zombies and everything else. So my questions to him will be like, yo, how savage was society? Like,
Mm.
like initially from the very beginning, you're just trying to find a safe place. But then after that, how savage were just like people in general to where like they trying to take your shit, they don't give two shits about you. Like how was the world? Like I would love to like ask those type of questions, like to see like how crazy society would get in
Right.
those terms and conditions. So yeah, that'd
Okay.
be my second.
Number three, who you got?
My third, which I never heard nobody say, which I'm actually amazed with, but is God.
Okay. What would you ask God? So hold on, let me set this up for you. I'm gonna put you in a box, right? You get to ask God one question.
What? Come on, man.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
not
yeah. That's the
what?
box you in. That's the you get it because this God, so he ain't got a lot of time to be fucking around, right? Shit, got
He's got
universes to
endless
create,
stuff.
right? Right? Nah,
What?
nah, nah. I ain't got time to be sitting around talking to you,
My
yo.
one
And I done
question would be
gave
like,
you
can I
everything.
ask more questions? That would be my one question.
No,
Can I
please.
ask more questions?
No, when they pumping on your chest. Oh fuck, no, no. Nah, what would you want to talk to God about?
Like when we was talking about, me and Cello talked about this years ago. We talked about the afterlife, and I was like, just we were both saying like what the afterlife could be, and so I was telling Cello, I was like, yo, like the afterlife, everybody's just in their mind like, oh, I'm gonna go to heaven and it's all gonna be good. I was like, but I think like a little bit further, like let me talk to him for a little bit. Like can you rewind some stuff so I can see? Yeah, like that, like those would be the questions I want to like ask him. Be
Mm-hmm.
like, yo, like, can you show me dinosaurs? Like, like how they look? Like rewind that back real quick, and then like little stupid stuff, like, oh, like I have a Ghostbusters pack, and I went to my babysitter, and I had them in my book bag, and then when I got there, they weren't in my book bag. What the hell happened to them? Because I still don't know to this day how they fell out my book bag. Can you rewind that back and let me see like where I
Mm-hmm.
dropped them? Like little stuff like that. Like I would
Yeah,
just ask them stuff, or
the unanswered aspects of it for yourself, type shit.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm with you.
or like, oh, the girls that like me but never said nothing. Can you show me who they were? Like just like little stupid stuff like that. Like yeah, I would ask.
Lil said the ghost took your Ghostbusters. Ooh. Who's number four?
um, Nina Simone.
Hmm. What would you talk to her about?
Just like what like where her mind is going, like her thoughts and everything, like because I heard Nina Simone and I've heard a couple of her stuff, but then like it was maybe like 10 years ago. I heard Four Women.
Hmm.
When I first heard Four Women, I was like, God damn. Like, remember I talked to you about, because, the last girl was Peaches. And remember, Peaches worked at the job,
Hmm.
and, at the commissary. I'm like, yo, the way she describing Peaches is basically like Peaches on the job. Like she act
Hmm.
the same way.
Right.
Like, but that song is so fucking strong. So strong. Like, I love that joint. Um,
Who's number
but
five?
just like, oh, number five.
My fault. I ain't mean to cut you off. You paused, so I thought you was
No,
done.
you good, you good. Number five would be my father.
Mm. Now we could go down this rabbit hole a little bit if you want to. I
Yeah, we
don't.
can.
But it's
But we
what would you want to talk to your father about?
well, because I know, back then, like I think the laws were actually like really made up better for women in, I think, like 85, 86. But
Hmm.
back before then, the laws weren't really like for women. So
Hmm.
a dude could leave a girl and be 10 blocks down the road with a whole new goddamn family
Hmm.
and be chilling. Like,
Hmm.
so like that's what the times were back then. So, but yeah, I just want to ask him, like, were you not ready, my nigga? Like what was going on? Like, and or why you ain't checked back up? Like why you ain't come to see? So yeah,
Hmm.
I would ask that, that's why I like that Will Smith joint. That shit harder. It hits harder for like people like me.
Hmm.
When you watch that episode and he like, why he don't want me?
Hmm.
Like that, yo, that shit, like guys like me, it's a lot of guys like me out there. Like that shit hits hard. Like
Hmm.
way harder than like you, cause you got Alan. You got
Hmm.
Pop still around. He teaching you bass fishing, everything. Like, yeah, so it's not gonna hit you the same. Like
Right. I
like
mean, I
it
think
is.
we all have our different trials and tribulations. I think that's just one of the things that you're burdened with that I'm not. You know what I'm saying? And that's just
Yeah.
that's I guess it's the for good or bad, it's the spice of life, right?
Yeah.
Um,
So
before we roll, I always give my guests the opportunity to ask me a question. So, do you have any questions for me, or
yeah,
do
well,
you have a question for me? We ain't doing no.
yeah,
You're not interviewing me. I'm the host.
yeah. So I got two. So I know A Mob just dropped an album.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see him on this joint. And Curtis,
Mm-hmm.
because Curtis, he was the same as Jerome.
Mm-hmm.
Jerome always had in his mindset he gonna be a chef, and he's a chef.
Mm-hmm.
Curtis, you remember we growing up, he was like, I want to fly planes.
Mm-hmm.
He's fucking flying planes. like so,
Right.
so those two, I would love to see them on there.
Okay. So that's
I
a suggestion.
love, yes, I love to see you interview them.
Okay.
So that's
I'll do what
one.
I can do to get them on the calendar and see what's up.
Cool.
All right.
And then music, because that's initially what I wanted to get onto, but Shane took my shit, man.
Oh, Shane did. Shout out to
Yeah,
DJ
man.
Shane
Shout out to
203
Shane.
live
Shout out
on
to Shane, man.
CUL Radio doing the Friday night fights. I don't know who the
Oh,
battle between is, but what's the
he took my
music question?
topic, man. He took my topic. I really wanted to talk about music, but okay. So Project Pat said in the interview, it's no longer 16s.
Mm-hmm.
It's 8, 10, and 10. And then when I was watching Drink Champs with Swiss Beats and Timbo, they were saying the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
To where music is not about the 16 no more.
Okay.
Like back in the day, it was 16 chorus, 16 chorus, 16. They said the generation now is too fast. Like they want their shit like right here and there. So now it's like 8, 10, and 10.
Okay.
Do a 8, 10, and 10. Like, and you've made albums.
Mm-hmm.
We've made albums. We've made records. So
Mm-hmm.
do you agree with that? How do you feel about that? To where like the dynamics of music is changing to where it's no longer a 16. Like 16 is too long. Like you
Okay.
got to do a 8 count or a 10 count.
Well, to me, nothing lasts forever. Change is the only constant. I don't make a lot of music. I actually just finished memorizing a verse for Shane's album, Hustle and Motivation, is coming out soon. I wrote a 16. But when I get the beat, right, I write in my space. I don't give a fuck. If it's 16, if I want to spit 16 bars, I'm going to spit 16 bars. If I want to spit 24 bars, I ain't got no record label telling me what the fuck I can do, can't do, gotta be 8, album gotta be this many. Nah, like, now, I might care more if Universal or Sony said this has to be 8, 10, and 10, and I'll be like, well, why? That I got more to say. But I'm a free agent for whatever it's worth, so it
Yeah.
doesn't affect me. You know what I'm saying? But if you were making an album and you came to me and you said, listen, I got you on this, I want you to be on this joint for me, but it's you only get 10 bars, then I'm gonna give you 10 bars of the Wrath of Hades on that motherfucker and be done with
There
it.
we go.
Because I'm gonna respect your shit.
Well, yeah, that's what they were saying. They were saying it's not necessarily like the companies, it's society. Like
Right.
society, they don't have like the mindset like to continue listening for 16. They're like, nah, we only have the mental capacity for 8 or 10.
That's just fucking insulting.
It is. It really is. But it is. It is
But it
what
is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's like I
Yeah.
watched this real quick before we roll. I watched this quick clip of Mark Cuban. You know who Mark Cuban is, owner of the Dallas Mavericks?
Yeah. Yeah.
He
He
was
be on
saying
Short
like,
Tank all the time.
yeah, he was saying like, listen,
Oh, he up there, Delonte.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
He
For
said,
y'all that
listen,
don't know, we chilled with Delonte before he was even famous. He was still in college. He was right around Clinton, and we go over there and we rap and we freestyle. I got the freestyle tape with Delonte West on that joint. him and his cousin, Chels, and me. I got that freestyle tape on cassette. I hope that cassette don't break, but I gotta convert it to CD. But yes, me, Delonte, Chels, and Demetrius, his cousin, we freestyled on that tape. I still got that tape at the crib. So go ahead what you're
Cool, cool.
saying.
Nah, I forgot what I was saying. I'm done. I answered your question. We good. I appreciate you doing the show with me. You know what I'm saying? You're more than welcome to come back and discuss another topic at a later date. You my man, you my brother, you always will be. We ain't gotta agree, we ain't gotta disagree. I'll always love you. You my man, 50, 100 grand. What you say at the end of Run Streets with Streets? You ain't never had no loot, but you always my favorite boot.
Yeah.
And all of that good shit. So y'all, if you're on YouTube and you're watching this, you know, make sure you drop comments, make sure you like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Marchello Bradley, what's up with you? Go follow him. GR8119S.
Well, we got more time. We got a little bit
Nah,
more time.
what we'll do is we'll stop this and then we'll turn around and we'll go back live on another one. All right.
Cool. That'll work.
All right, y'all. We out for this time. See y'all next Friday. Or if you're on the next live, we'll see you then too. Peace.
All right.